Hello, my name is Richard Kent. Today I want to talk about Mount Sinai, or the possible Mount Sinai. I can't promise to you that this really is Mount Sinai, but one thing I can promise you is that it's not St. Catherine's Monastery, which is the place that many tourists visit in the Sinai Peninsula. Why do I say that? Because the Bible is very clear. In Galatians 4:25 it says Mount Sinai is in Arabia. I'll say it again. Mount Sinai is in Arabia. That's Galatians 4:25. So we need to look and see somewhere in Saudi Arabia which could possibly be the original Mount Sinai. Now this is the place that my close friend Derek Walker thinks is the real Mount Sinai. An acquaintance of mine, who I can't pretend to be very friendly with, but I have met him twice, Chuck Missler, also believes that this is the real Mount Sinai. First of all, it's in Saudi Arabia, and in order to get to Saudi Arabia, the children of Israel had to cross an 8-mile expanse of water at the Gulf of Aqaba. We'll talk about that on another occasion. But when they arrived at Mount Sinai, of course we know that Moses went up to the top of Mount Sinai, and you can see there that the top of Mount Sinai is blackened. The correct name for that type of blackened granite is obsidium. What actually happened, we're told in the scriptures, is that God came down in fire and burnt the top of Mount Sinai. And actually if you go up Mount Sinai, you'll find that what it looks like molten glass. It's got a blackened appearance, and that is why Mount Sinai has a blackened appearance. Now, in Saudi Arabia, it's not called Mount Sinai, it's called Jebel al-Laws. That means the mountain of the law. It's also called Jebel Musa, which means the mountain of Moses. Now, also in this area, we find a split rock, 60 feet high, and I believe this is Mount Horeb. You remember Moses struck a rock and it split, and there is a friend of mine who I met at Derek Walker's church, Oxford Bible Church, a gentleman called Aaron Sen. And there you see Aaron Sen sitting at the bottom of Mount Horeb. And you'll notice that the rocks there are all very smooth, suggesting that they have been eroded by the passage of millions of gallons of water. The last thing I want to mention to you is the rocks. Some of the rocks there, and this is possibly the golden calf altar, have drawings on them, and the drawings look like a calf. They're actually called petroglyphs. So that is a drawing of, possibly a drawing of the golden calf. Now, these weren't any old calves that the children of Israel were actually worshipping. These were Egyptian gods called Apis and Hathor, commonly known as the calf gods. These were the pagan gods of Egypt. So when the children of Israel made a golden calf, they were actually worshipping the pagan gods of Egypt, breaking the 10 Commandments as they did so, which was why Moses was so cross. So there's 3 reasons why I think this may be the real Mount Sinai. Here is a Mount Sinai with a blackened top, where possibly God came down in fire and turned the granite into obsidium, which is like molten glass. Secondly, there's a split rock there, Mount Horeb, I believe. At the bottom, at the base of Mount Horeb, the stone has all been made smooth by the passage of millions of gallons of water. And thirdly, we have these petroglyphs, or ancient drawings of an Egyptian pagan god called Apis and Hathor. So I believe that Mount Sinai is just one more confirmation that the Bible is supernatural. We are the disciples of Jesus Christ, and Jesus Christ is the supernatural God who created everything in existence, and everything in the Bible is true. Thanks for listening to me, and God bless.